Hi everyone, this is Annie Grace and I am coming to you. I'm going to be looking at my notes a bit during this live because I've made a lot of notes on this topic. We are obviously in a pandemic, and that's only really happened one other time in my lifetime. During AIDS, I believe, was declared a pandemic. And so it's intense and it's scary, and I have gotten a lot of questions about, wow, this makes me want to drink, I'm afraid, I have to be in my house, I'm alone, my kids are home, which makes me want to drink because my school is closed, I can't travel, all of this stuff, all of the fear. And so obviously alcohol has been a huge tool that we human beings have learned to deal with fear and to numb fear. So I want to talk about alcohol and the coronavirus, and I want to talk about this from all sorts of angles. I want to talk about this from just the fact that we use alcohol to numb our emotions, and this is a very prime example of it. I want to talk about the fact of, why alcohol doesn't mix with an infectious disease and go into the science of that. I think that's really important. I also want to get really practical about things that you can do to handle this and to know your strength in this and to get through it and to really feel a little more united and a little less alone, even though the great thing about this is Facebook Lives aren't infectious last time I checked, so that's the good news. And we live in this time where we can connect with each other online, and that is one of the practical tips I do want to give you, is that there's so many beautiful free communities. Obviously, This Naked Mind has a free online community at thisnakedmindcommunity.com. The Alcohol Experiment is a free online community at alcoholexperiment.com. We also have the free Facebook group, so connect with people, connect with each other, be there, support each other. And I think we can really just show the best of humanity through a crisis like this. So first of all, I just want to talk about this idea that, oh my gosh, I'm so stressed, I want to drink. And I want to go really back to basics about why alcohol doesn't actually relieve stress. If you imagine that you have a wound, right? So imagine you cut your hand and you cut it with something that's rusty and it gets infected. And then you take a Band-Aid and you put it over the top of the wound. And now you can't see the infection. So you're like, okay, I'm all good. Is the infection gone? It's not gone. In fact, you've created a warm space for the infection to possibly grow. And the thing about that is that the pain you feel, the fear you feel, the stress you feel isn't actually leaving your body when you drink to deal with it and relieve it. Now, there are some other ways that I'm going to share with you that you can manage stress in the body, some really cool ways, some really exciting ways, but drinking does not do that. In fact, drinking, your body responds to drinking by trying to keep itself in homeostasis, and it actually releases cortisol. Cortisol is the stress hormone. It releases adrenaline because it's alcohol is a depressant, and your body's trying to bring itself back up to homeostasis, so it releases stimulants, which actually create more anxiety. Alcohol, I've heard it said, is like literally pouring gasoline on your anxiety because of how much more you feel. And if you imagine this, you have to live 24 hours a day, right? And let's say you spend 7 to 8 of them sleeping. You're a good sleeper, you spend 7 to 8 of them sleeping. You're left with all the rest of those hours. How many of those hours can you actually be drunk? Let's just be honest. Maybe you're like, well, I could go big, man. I could be drunk 12 hours a day. Maybe. Your body would probably throw up, pass out, and then you'd wake up hungover and not drunk. And you got, maybe you have kids at home, maybe you have your dog. So even if you can make yourself to the point where you don't feel any fear about this, you're not going to be able to do it for the most hours of the day. So the idea of using alcohol like a Band-Aid and putting it over the pain, the thing that happens to that infection under the Band-Aid in that warm, dark area is the infection gets worse. The thing that happens to your pain and stress and anxiety about the coronavirus is that it gets worse. It gets more intense. And then what happens? You end up spewing it out to your kids, spewing it out to your partner, spewing it out to the people down the street, spewing it out on social media, spewing it out all over the internet because you haven't actually handled the thinking and the pain. And so I love this technique. This is by Brooke Castillo, and it's called a thought download. And it's literally just getting on a journal and writing down all the thoughts, all the panicky things, all the worst case scenarios, getting them down, getting them out, purging your brain, downloading it all. And then there it is, right? And then not only does that just by itself create incredible amounts of space for people, but then if you want to go back through, and what I do is I star the most painful thoughts, and then I use the ACT technique. And the ACT technique is a really simple 3-step technique that I've developed through the alcohol experiment. You can learn a lot more about it at alcoholexperiment.com. But the ACT technique, which is free, by the way, alcoholexperiment.com is always free, always will be. The ACT technique, what it does is it takes the thought, that original thought, so you've written all these sentences down, and maybe one of your sentences is like, I'm not going to be able to handle the loneliness of being like, not being able to leave my house for 2 weeks, or whatever the case is, right? So you write the sentence down. That's A. So it's A, awareness, C, clarity, T, turnaround, okay? That's the A. I'm not going to be able to handle being alone if we have to be, on quarantine, or if I have to be by myself, or if I'm afraid and I don't want to leave the house. How does that make you feel? How does that make you behave? That's C. You want to ask yourself for clarity. You want to let yourself know how that thought makes you feel and how it makes you behave. Now you might say, well, I don't want to dwell on it. And that's so common, so typical. We have a painful thought, we have a fear, and we're like, we don't want to dwell on it. So I'll reach for the beer, I'll reach for the wine, I'll reach for the vodka. That's what happens. But here's the thing about that. You don't solve it. Now, if you say, okay, I'm going to look it straight in the eyes. I'm going to say, how does that make me feel? And I'm going to actually write it down. The brain is brilliant. And the brain says, oh my gosh, that's a really painful thought. I don't want to cause myself pain. It's kind of like if you touch a candle flame for the first time because it's pretty and orange and you're 2, you're never going to touch a candle flame again. Why? Because your brain is like, oh no, I remember that was awful. I'm never doing that again. And it's the same thing. So you actually want to take the time to look at your fear head on, look at it straight on and say, how is this making me feel? How is this making me show up, right? And then how is it making me behave in the world? And that's really an important part. That's the C. So awareness is, what is it? And again, download it all, then circle your most painful ones. Clarity is, how is it making me feel? How is it making me behave? And then your turnaround is something that's believable. It cannot not be believable. That's the most important part about the turnaround. But it has to be believable. That's true. That makes you feel and behave better, okay? And then when you find your turnaround, you want to ask yourself again, how does that make you feel and how does that make you behave? So say you're having that thought of, oh, I'm not going to be able to handle the loneliness. You realize that makes you feel even more lonely. It makes you feel panicked. It makes you feel like, what's the point anyways? It makes you want to drink. It makes you all of these things. It makes you even pour a drink. Your behavior is spiraling out of control. And then you say, okay, what's a turnaround? If you say, I am going to be able to handle the loneliness, your brain says, BS. It calls BS on you. And actually, when you introduce a turnaround, that's the exact opposite. It's like a neural toxicity. It's like a fight in the brain. That's not what you want to do. You want to introduce something new to your brain, a new thought you can think on and focus on that's actually true. So maybe it's something like, I might be a little lonely, but I know that in times of loneliness, I've had the most spiritual or emotional growth. Or I might be a little lonely, but I can also proactively make a list of things that could ease that loneliness. Or I might be a little lonely, so why don't I proactively try to reach out to people and ask a few people if they want to be on a group text with me? And it's like the, just survive the loneliness text, whatever it is for you. And those are just some of my suggestions. But go through this technique, look at your fears. Don't just drink them away. Look at your fears and then ask yourself, what is it how's this making me feel and behave? And then come up with a different thought that is going to make you feel better. That's the best technique I have for actually dealing with and looking at your fears. And if you want to, post them below, we can help with the turnarounds. We can all help each other with the turnarounds. Post your fears. Let's comment on them. Let's help you turn them around so that you have better thoughts to bring you into a place where you're not feeling that fear and panic and you don't feel like you need to drown it away. Now, 2 other really practical tips here. There's 2 types of breath that I want to just teach you very quickly. One is called the 2X breath, and this is by Emily Fletcher. She has developed the Ziva technique, and it's basically you breathe in for let's say it's 2 counts, and then you breathe out for twice the amount of time you breathed in. So if you're going to breathe in 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, you would breathe out 1, 1,000, 2, 1,000, 3, 1,000, 4, 1,000. And what that does is it just slows your body down. It sends signals to your brain that you're not in fight or flight. You're not in panic mode. Do that 10 times. And a lot of that, intensity will dissipate. And you might have to do that a lot of times. There's a lot of intensity around this, right? The other one is called a box breath. And that's where you breathe in for a count of 4. You hold it for a count of 4. You breathe out for a count of 4. And then you hold it out for a count of 4. It does the same sort of things in the brain. It slows down the body, it slows down the system. So you breathe in for a count of 4, hold it for a count of 4, breathe out for a count of 4, and then hold it out for a count of 4. And it ends up thinking about it like a box. So those 2 types of breath very practically are going to help you just calm your nervous system, get into a place where you're not feeling as triggered, okay? So that's going to be really, really good. So I want to talk a little bit about this idea of like, okay, so this is so intense. What's going to happen? There's a lot of fear. What can you find as the gift? Like, what is the gift if you have to stay in your house for 2 weeks? Like for me, and I know you might not have kids, but for me, I get a lot of quality time with my kids that I don't normally get, which is really cool. I might get to catch up on a lot of podcasts I don't normally get to catch up on. Our garage really needs cleaned out. We've been wanting to do that for years. So, the idea of like a staycation of everything in my life slowing down. Maybe I'm going to write some on my new book that I'm working on. Maybe I'll write a blog post. Maybe I'll do some stuff. But make yourself a list of like, where's the gift here? What could be great about this? If I'm not numbing, if I'm not trying to escape, and then I'm spending all my time beating myself up for all the numbing and escaping, and then I'm in this cycle of like even more drama and more fear and self-loathing that I've induced with alcohol, where is the gift? Maybe this is going to be the first time where you just own it. You're like, you know what? I'm going to sit with the intensity of my emotions. I'm going to sit with my fear. I'm going to feel it, and I'm going to use just the fact that I feel fear, that I feel alone, that I feel this intensity. I'm going to use it as an experiment in me dealing with my own emotions instead of running away from them. And I'm going to come out of this like a badass, And maybe that's your commitment to yourself because you've decided I'm done with that. And this is a great example where I can, in my house, just be with my emotions. I'm going to journal on them. I'm going to try the ACT technique. I'm going to do some breathing, but I'm going to find the gift in actually sitting with my emotions because I promise you, if you can learn to sit with your emotions, there's nothing you can't do. Nothing. I love the J.K. Rowling quote. She says, there's nothing is impossible if you have enough nerve, right? And nerve is the ability to sit with the emotion. And so it's phenomenal. So there's opportunity here too. There's opportunity in terms of maybe this is time you're like, I'm ready to change my relationship with alcohol. I just haven't had the time to watch all the videos in the alcohol experiment or all the videos in maybe the intensive program. I'm going to go and I'm going to sit and I'm going to watch that, or I'm going to listen to the podcast and I'm actually going to rewire my brain around alcohol. I'm going to come out of this stronger instead of letting it take me down. I'm going to put my flag in the sand. I'm going to say, this is an opportunity, even though it doesn't feel like it. And it's an opportunity for me to work on me. Sometimes isolation, being alone, having to just slow down can be such a gift, even if it doesn't feel like it in the moment. So I want to offer all of those things. I want to talk a little bit about the scary part of this, and not to make you more afraid, but I owe it to you to tell you that alcohol is horrific for your immune system. Literally horrific. So I'm gonna read you some things, and I'll post my studies here. But your immune response is really made up of 5 things, right? So it's your physical barrier, it's your skin, right? And that's your gut, that's the mucus in your nose, all of those stuff. It's the chemical shield on your body to prevent microbial growth. It's your pathogen recognition system, so that identifies, okay, things are coming in. We better do something about this. We better kick into high gear. We better start to work. And it's your response to invading pathogens, so how you respond. And then it's the response of other things. So your immune system not only identifies things coming into your body, responds to them, but then it says, okay, all these other things, we need this to happen. So we need fatigue to happen so that you lay down so that the body can heal itself, so it actually kicks off other responses in the body. Now, this is according to a study that was recently done. I'll tell you, it's like 4 different scientists, but it was alcohol and the immune system. Again, I'll post the link. Alcohol negatively affects all 5 aspects of your immune system. There are numerous studies, oodles of research, oodles of information that says drinking really messes with your immune system. If you don't want to get sick, people, put down the alcohol just for a little while. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to your kids. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to read you I almost never read my own book, but I'm going to just read you the very brief paragraph on immune system because I say it better than I ever could. Your immune system. Germs surround us, making our immune system our most important tool for fighting off disease. Our skin protects our bodies from infection and disease. If germs make it into the body, we have two systems that provide defense. The innate system, which fends off first-time germ exposure, and the adaptive system, which actually retains information about prior germ exposure. So this is really where you develop antibodies about prior germ invasions and promptly defeats attackers. Alcohol suppresses both. Our immune system uses cytokines, small proteins, to send out chemical messages about infection. It's a kind of early alert system. Alcohol disrupts the productions of cytokines. When working correctly, cytokines alert our immune system to intruders, and our immune system responds with white blood cells that attack surrounding harmful viruses and bacteria. Alcohol impairs both functions, leaving us more susceptible to pneumonia, tuberculosis, and other infectious diseases. Further studies link alcohol to increased susceptibility of HIV. Not only increases our chances of contracting it, but also how rapidly it develops once it's contracted. So if you want to stay safe, the most important line of defense you have right now, forget the travel bans, forget everything else, it's your immune system, it's your body. And again, you can say, you know what? I'm going to take it on the chin. I'm going to sit with my emotions. I'm going to sit with my fear. I'm going to use this as an opportunity. This is going to be my day one, because you know what? I don't want that. I do not want this coming into my body. I don't want this virus invading me. I want to stand strong. And by the way, if it does, I want it to be one of those very mild cases, not one of the severe cases. And my best chance of that is not by undermining my body and my immune system that's trying to keep me alive by intentionally ingesting something that will harm my immune system. I'm sorry to be so intense. I just feel very strongly about this. And this could be your day one. This could be the day you go, I'm going to go join the alcohol experiment, alcoholexperiment.com. And guess what? For the next 30 days, I'm not drinking. And every day I'm going to read the video. Don't do that. Every day I'm going to read the blog post. Every day I'm going to watch the video. I'm going to journal. I'm going to talk to other people about this. And I'm going to use this as a chance to sit in my own emotion, sit in my own, fear, and actually come out of this much, much stronger than I could do otherwise. Here's the thing. Every single thing that happens in our lives, no matter how intense it is, no matter how scary it is, it's always an opportunity. There's always a split in the road. There's always a choice. There's always a moment of decision. And it doesn't have to be this moment. Don't beat yourself up if you've already drank or you're going to go drink tonight. Like, you can make that decision in any moment. It's always a new moment of decision. And there's always an opportunity to say, what am I going to make of this? And as intense as this is, you can truly make the best of it. All right, you guys, post all of your thoughts, post what you're doing, post your favorite movies, your favorite Netflix series, your favorite books. If we're all going to be at home, we might as well get some really good entertainment going. Post your fears, post your ACT techniques. Like, let's just make this a big running commentary of like, what are we doing? What's been helpful to me? Especially post the things that you're really loving watching or your favorite podcast, because I want to know. I need some good stuff to watch. Try to get some exercise. There's so many good exercise things. That's another really good thing. It's totally, you can go on YouTube, you can go on Amazon Prime, you can find exercise videos. Get outside if you can do it safely. Keep your head up, and sending you so much love.